Oh wow, it's October. G'day guys, how you going? Welcome to another layout. This one's a quick one. I find there are certain photos where less is more. Am I right? This is a uniquely creative paper. It is from the High Tea collection and it is afternoon tea. I pulled out my Distress Oxide in weathered wood to give myself a darker bordered edge on it. And the photos I'm actually scrapbooking are photos of my daughter and her grandmother. And we were down there this night and my mother-in-law said, I wonder, have a look, do you want to have a look at my wedding dress? I'm like, oh, of course. So she pulled it out and we tried it on Jen. And I mean, obviously there were some bits that were just not filled out properly, but it looked so adorable. And she just did this. It made Mum's day. Like, she was tickled pink with it. It was so cute. And I mean, it's so delicate. This dress is like 60, I think it's 60 years old next year. Like, it's getting there. Like, it's getting brittle. Like, it's that old. But so I had to take photos at the time because I thought, you know what? Jen's going to grow. No one's even going to fit in this dress down the track, much less wear it. So we had to take photos. It was so cute. A couple of little tears in it, but it was okay. Now I pulled out, I remembered that I had some uniquely creative crocheted, what do they call them? Hang on a minute. They are called lace paisleys. They're called lace embellishments. And I remembered that I had some of those and I thought, you know what, they might work on this layout. I've got a piece of muslin here purely because I wanted to soften between the photos and the background, because the background is a grayish tone and I just wanted it to separate a little bit. Now, I am a shocker when it comes to muslin. I'm not very good at it, but I think I got it to work. I think it worked. And this layout comes together super duper quickly, guys. Let me tell you. Don't blink because it'll be done. And I put the 5 photos together. I do have some yellow tape on there because there's some, specifically a couple of people in there that, yeah, anyway. Block them out just in case. And I am going through now and I'm going to add some foam tape. Now I could have come really unstuck doing it this way, but I have got this. When you use your foam tape, your dots, your squares, your whatever, don't throw away the outside pieces because it's just foam. Cut it up and use it. And if you're using it in a situation like this, you can actually get a lot of coverage with it, so it can hold the whole thing up, which is really good. Now, the thing I didn't think about was the thing with the big circles. They are 3M and that stuff sticks like nothing else. So if I had have accidentally put this down in the wrong spot, I would have been right back to square one. But it's okay. I think I get it in just the right spot. I do run around with a bit of art glitter glue later on just to make sure everything's glued down properly and it doesn't move. So I think these little paisley pieces look a little bit better tucked under the bottom photos rather than sitting on top of them. And then I just happened to sit a couple of them down the bottom and they looked really cute at the bottom. Now, these are not necessarily reversible. You kind of can reverse them, and I have reversed it down the bottom there, but one side isn't quite as shiny as the other side. If that bothers you, get some mica. You can get some mica with some gum arabic and you can paint it on there and it would liven it right up, but it didn't faze me enough to do that with it. Now, I went through the embellishment packs. Now, this has got to be a match made in heaven. I could not believe my luck when I pulled out that rose for the bottom and it was just perfect. And then the rose was too big to be up the top there. So I went sort of rummaging for another photo, another look at that flower. That rose was absolutely perfect at the bottom. And these, I don't know what these flowers are. They sort of look like lilies. See, two fingers. I found two of them and they were exactly the same. What was the likelihood that that was going to happen? Well, it worked. Now, I just went around the edge, just daubing a little bit of that darker grey, that weathered wood, on the edges of those flowers, just so it's not so white around the edges. I'm not a huge white around the edge person. So I absolutely love that. Now I make the decision and I stick it down because I love how it looks. So I'm pulling out some circle dots because it's raised up and adding a little bit of glue. Perfect. And that's how I like that. They just fit it in there perfectly. And it helps with that, you know, in the tier where it's going from the 2 to the 3, it just helps cover that up. I will obviously take those yellow tapes off down the track once I've done a bit of a layout share so you can see them all up close. Now, this particular one at the bottom, this is coming together so quick and so easy. I don't buy kits as such, but I do keep all my, if I happen to buy ephemera that matches a kit, I will keep it together. And sometimes, especially with Uniquely Creative, a lot of their stuff just mixes and matches really, really well. They've got that, other than the fact that they're Australian and singing their praises, but everything sort of matches. It's all matchy-matchy, which is really, makes it really easy to create layouts like this, especially when they're photos like this. You wouldn't necessarily go in with a lot of heavy, bright mixed media. It sort of lends itself to, I was trying to think of the era of the dress, not necessarily the age of Jen at the time, if that makes sense. So that's what I was trying to do with it, and that's when I brought in these lace pieces. And I don't, if you've been and you've seen my stuff on my channel, I don't scrap a lot like this, but there are definitely times that this is called for. You know, this style is exactly bang on the money. So I'm now sitting back thinking, how am I going to put a title on this? Where am I going to put a title on this? Obviously, you've got up the very top, but you don't want the title to stick out so much that it's in your face and offensive. Like, you don't want it to be like that. So I went rummaging and I found my 49th and Market. This is the vintage art, the wishing bubbles and trinkets. There was a couple of these little bubbles and I thought they actually had the right wording on them and they were the right tone. So they went quite well with it. Now I decided that I'd try and put some of these hearts on here, but that one up there was fine. But there wasn't another one in the same color tone, and see, it was just a bit too big. It looked like it stuck out, so I didn't end up putting that one on there. I did leave the little tiny one on there, and that's very odd of me because I don't normally just put one of something somewhere. But I did find this rub-on, and it said, "Heart This Simple Life," and I went, bingo, there's my title. It is in a muted tone. It's a brown kind of color. It's not red, it's not brown. It's sort of in between, and the Simple Life part is in black, so, or like a charcoal sort of color. So it went well, but I wanted the title to be tucked in there. I didn't want it to be big and bold and all over the top. So now I decided that I would come in with some liquid pearls and do some pearl drops in a couple of the places where it would look natural. So the color I'm using here is Silver Pearl. I was trying to think, I thought it was platinum. silver pearl, liquid pearls, and I use some white opal as well. Now I do 3 larger dots, and then what I do is I don't actually squeeze the tube. I'm just dotting the tube of liquid pearls on the page, and it leaves these little teeny tiny micro dots. You can barely see them, but because it's pearlescent, the light reflects on it and it's awesome. Then I decided I think these lace pieces needed a couple of pearls. So I just grabbed a few white pearls. I was thinking of using the cream because the dress is cream, but the actual lace pieces that I used from Uniquely Creative are white. I didn't color them at all. So, yeah. So I just popped some of these pearls into the natural spaces in the lace where there was a hole, if that makes sense. Just to add a little bit of extra to the layout. Now, if you're getting value from my videos, I would love, love, love it if you subscribe, if you would share my channel with your friends and your family, anyone else that you like. That it doesn't even have to be scrapbooking. If they're a card maker, I watch a lot of card making videos, and I've only ever made 1 card in my whole life. So, you know, you just never know who will click with a channel. So I would love it if you shared my channel around. And this is the first video for Oh Wow, It's October. Can you believe that? We're like 2 months and it's Christmas. Does that scare everybody? Now this month is all about Halloween. If you're overseas, we don't do a lot of Halloween, but I will get my kids to get a few crazy photos for me so I can do some Halloween layouts for you in the month to, you know, we can Halloween this thing up a little bit. We just got to get the girls to take some photos for me. We can do this. And thank you so much for watching. If you are getting value from this video, please like, subscribe, leave me a comment, all that fun stuff, and let me know what you would like to see this month. What sort of videos? More mixed media, more paper. Yeah, I can buy paper this month now. Woohoo! Yay, I'm off my paper freeze. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.